The following information should be used as a general guide for the inspection and maintenance, filling, draining, purging, and testing of the 7-liter and 10-liter liquid oxygen converters. The 7-liter and 10-liter liquid oxygen converters are instrumental in the creation of an oxygen system capable of supplying gaseous oxygen for patient therapy. These units are used on board rotary wing and fixed wing aircraft to store oxygen in liquid form. Before beginning any of the following procedures, take time to become familiar with the risks associated with liquid oxygen. Never allow LOX to contact skin. Always wear appropriate personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. Be sure to keep LOX clear of ignition sources, contaminants, and remember to never transfer LOX on asphalt. For more details on LOX precautions, handling, hazards, and properties, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. To prepare for inspection and maintenance, filling, draining, purging, and testing of the 7-liter and 10-liter LOX converters, it is a good idea to first gather all the required tools and equipment that will be needed for each procedure. Items needed include an oxygen-safe area to perform the procedures, a stable, clean, lifted surface such as a counter or table, personal protective equipment or PPE, a liquid oxygen supply such as a VGL, a liquid oxygen converter system purge kit, a clean, dry, lint-free cloth, 2 oxygen-clean crescent wrenches, a 7-liter holding fixture, a filler valve, a filler harness, a drain fixture, vent cap, purge fitting, purge drip pan, pressure gauge, and a fire extinguisher. For more details on required tools and equipment, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. It is recommended to complete a general inspection on the LOX converter units at least once a month. When performing general inspections, be sure to check the following. Check the converter for any damage that could possibly affect the system performance, such as broken or missing components, severe dents, or missing fasteners. If cleaning of the units is required, it should be limited to external cleaning of the converter surface only. Please make sure there is a positive pressure on the system to keep contaminants out. To properly clean the units, use a soft lint-free cloth and a solution of soap and water. For harder to remove soil, use a soft nylon brush to scrub the external surfaces. Rinse with clear water and either wipe dry with lint-free cloth or blow dry as necessary with gaseous nitrogen. If any condition exists from the preceding inspection steps that make the system unable to perform its intended function, return the system to appropriate repair facility for corrective action. For more details on unit inspection or maintenance, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. Before beginning the filling procedure, please note that those persons not directly involved in oxygen servicing operations should stay outside of a 25-foot radius of the liquid oxygen servicing area. Servicing personnel, please ensure that appropriate PPE is donned and that your hands, feet, clothing, etc. are clean and free of petroleum-based products before filling. While the 10-liter converter sits flat and level, the 7-liter can be filled in either a vertical or horizontal orientation. It is recommended to fill the 7-liter in the horizontal position. To fill the 7-liter in the horizontal position, a holding fixture should be used for proper holding and orientation. Note, if filling the 7-liter in the vertical position, be sure that LOX from the vent port does not collect on top of the converter. This could freeze the vacuum pot plug, causing degradation of the container vacuum. To begin the filling procedure, first, position the unit on a stable, clean surface with the servicing fill valve downwind such that the liquid oxygen exiting the vent port will not come in contact with personnel or any hazardous materials. Ascertain that the vent openings on both the LOX servicing tank and the unit to be filled are unobstructed. Locate the converter fill port and remove the valve dust cap. Inspect the opening of the converter fill valve and the servicing hose fill valve for contamination or moisture. Remove any contamination or moisture with a dry, clean, lint-free cloth. Vent the converter until flow ceases at the vent port by affixing a vent cap or a spare female filler adapter or a female filler adapter on the servicing hose. If you use the female filler adapter on the servicing hose to vent the system, make sure the bulk storage tank servicing line valve is in the off position. Connect the servicing hose filler adapter to the converter fill valve and proceed to fill in accordance with the instructions from the servicing tank. Open the bulk storage tank servicing line shutoff valve. Pressurize the LOX bulk storage tank to 35 plus or minus 5 psig in accordance with its instructions. Maintain a pressure of 35 plus or minus 5 psig in the storage tank. Leaking from any component or connection is a potentially dangerous situation. Any steady drip from a servicing nozzle that can be contained in the drip pan of the system is acceptable. Holding the hose, thereby removing the downward tension from the connections, can sometimes eliminate dripping. Under standard servicing conditions, each unit should reach maximum capacity within 10 minutes. When a continuous stream of LOX flows from the vent port of the unit, disconnect the servicing hose from the unit, close the servicing hose shutoff valve, and vent the storage tank in accordance with the instructions provided. Reinstall the dust cap on the converter fill port. Caution: to prevent excessive pressure buildup in the servicing hose and possible injury to personnel, ensure that the LOX servicing hose is fully depressurized. Open the servicing line pressure vent valve if the LOX servicing tank is so equipped. For more details on unit filling, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. Draining of LOX from the unit should be done upon occurrence of system malfunction, failure to pass inspection, when placing in storage or shipping, or when performing maintenance. Place the unit in an area free from dirt and hydrocarbons. For the 7-liter, also place the unit in a horizontal holding fixture. Place an overflow catch container at the outlet port end of the system and attach the drain fixture to the supply port. A steady stream of vapor and liquid oxygen will exhaust from the outlet port. Allow the converter to drain until all liquid and vapor are completely exhausted. When draining is complete, disconnect the drain fixture from the supply port. For more details on unit draining, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. The 7-liter and 10-liter LOX converters should be hot purged at scheduled intervals not to exceed 3 months, exclusive of any interim events that makes purging necessary. The converter should also be purged if the unit has been opened, the LOX quantity gauge is not functioning properly, as well as prior to shipment or storage. For the purging procedure, you will need the items contained in the liquid oxygen converter system purge kit. When purging the 7-liter and 10-liter converters, first ascertain that the unit has been drained and completely emptied of LOX. With the unit and purge heater positioned on a clean work area, connect the approved nitrogen source product equipped with a shutoff valve and a regulator capable of controlling the supply pressure from 0 to 100 psig to the inlet of the purge heater. Note: only gaseous nitrogen conforming to type 1, grades A or B, should be used as a source for purging. Open the gaseous nitrogen supply and adjust the pressure to 10 psig. Allow the purging gas to flow for 1 minute. Using the female filler adapter provided with the purge kit, connect the outlet of the purge heater to the converter fill port. With the purge kit circuit breaker switches in the off position, plug the power cable from the purge heater into an electrical outlet, providing a source of 115 volts AC. Place the circuit breaker switches in the on position. After approximately 10 minutes of operation, adjust the supply inlet pressure to approximately 55 psig. When the outlet gas gets warmer than ambient, you can start the process. Continue to hot purge for a minimum of 45 minutes until the exhaust temperature is above ambient temperature. After completion of hot purging, turn the purge heater off and cold purge for a minimum of 15 minutes or until components have returned to ambient temperature. Disconnect the purge heater filler adapter from the converter fill port, trapping pressure inside the system. Note, the converter will not retain a positive pressure for an indefinite period of time. Depletion of this pressure does not signify an abnormal condition. Turn the purging gas source off. Then disconnect and properly store all purging appliances. Replace the fill port dust cap. For more details on unit purging, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent. Testing the 7-liter and 10-liter LOX converters. Due to the limitation of test equipment available to the majority of users, testing of the converter is limited to those tests required to establish functionality and pressure integrity of the converter. All tests listed in this section shall be conducted at normal atmospheric pressure and humidity and at room temperatures of 55 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Vented evaporation loss test. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the ability of the converter dewar to retain liquid over a 24-hour period and should be done immediately after a unit is filled. If not already full, fill the converter to capacity with liquid oxygen. Connect the vent cap to the filler port and allow the converter to remain undisturbed for 2 hours for temperature stabilization. After the 2-hour stabilization period, weigh the converter and record the weight. Allow the converter to remain undisturbed for an additional 24 hours. After the 24-hour period, weigh the converter again and compare the differences in weight. The loss in weight shall not exceed 3 pounds for the 24-hour period. If the converter does not meet this requirement, return the converter to Essex for repair. Build-up evaporation loss test. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the ability of the complete converter to retain liquid over a 24-hour period. This test is normally conducted immediately following the vented evaporation loss test. If not already full, fill the converter to capacity with liquid oxygen. Allow the converter to remain undisturbed for 2 hours to let stabilization occur. After the 2-hour stabilization period, weigh the converter and record the weight. Allow the converter to remain undisturbed for an additional 24 hours. After the 24-hour period, weigh the converter again and compare the differences in weight. The loss in weight shall not exceed 3 pounds for the 24-hour period. If the converter does not meet this requirement, return the converter to Essex for repair. For more details on unit testing, refer to your specified document, operator's manual, technical order, or equivalent.